Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about joints. What are joints? Joints are points of contact between bones or between bones and cartilage. Okay. With joint is a contact between two bones or between the bones and cartilage. As you can see in your knees, two bones are there. So point of contact between the two bones. As you see in your nose, bone and cartilage is there. The point of contact between that bone and cartilage, it is called joints. Okay. Joint act like a fulcrum. What do you mean by fulcrum? Fulcrum means it is a pivot point. Okay. Joint acts like a fulcrum. It acts like a pivot. Okay. Now force generated by the muscles is used to carry out movement through joint. Force that is generated by muscle is used to carry out movement through joints. Now classification of joints. Joints are classified into three types: fibrous, cartilaginous, and another one is synovial joints. Okay, synovial we will discuss later. First is fibrous joints. Fibrous, it's a term that fibrous joint do not allow any movement. Okay, for example in skull, between the cranium lining in the skull, is there is any movement? No. So this type of joint is shown by flat skull bones, which fuse end to end with the help of dense fibrous connective tissue. Now, in the form of sutures to form the cranium. Okay, so in the skull you must have seen sutures. So this type of joint is fibrous joint. Next is cartilaginous joint. Just remember that fibrous joint is that do not allow any movement. Now cartilaginous joint, it will allow slight movement. Okay, the bones involved are joined together with the help of cartilage. In this, bones are joined together with the help of cartilage. As you see in between the adjacent vertebrae, the two vertebrae in the vertebral column show limited movement, and this is the cartilaginous joint. It permits limited movement. Now the last one is the synovial joint. Synovial joints are characterized by the presence of fluid-filled synovial cavity between the articulating surface of two bones. Between the two bones there is a fluid-filled cavity. Okay, so that is how synovial joint is there. Such an arrangement allows considerable movement. Okay, a good amount of movement, a considerable movement that we can able to see is shown by synovial joint. Okay, now such an arrangement allows considerable movement. These joints help in locomotion and many other movement. What is locomotion? Change in position from one place to another. Locomotion means with the help of our hind limbs, with the help of our legs, we are moving from one place to another in search of food, shelter, or anything. That is locomotion. Okay, and many other movement. Types of movable joint or example of synovial joints are ball and socket joint, hinge joint, pivot joint, landing joint, and saddle joint. What is ball and socket joint? It is found between the humerus, that is the hand bone, and the pectoral girdle. What is pectoral girdle? Pectoral girdle involves scapula and clavicle. So between the hand bone, humerus, and pectoral girdle, ball and socket joint is there. Okay, the pectoral girdle act like a socket, and humerus bone act like a ball, and the bone of the humerus act like a stick. Okay, so this is how ball and socket joint is there. Now next is hinge joint. Hinge joint is present in our knee and elbow. It allow downward and backward and downward movement. Like I can move my hand up and down, like this we can move hinge joint. Next is pivot joint. Pivot joint is present between the atlas axis, or we can say between the skull and the vertebral column. Between our skull and vertebral column, pivot joint is there. Now next is landing joint. Landing joint is there between the carpals, like in our hand and in our wrist and ankles. Okay, carpal bones are there. But and in the backbone there landing joint is there. And the last one is saddle joint. Saddle joint is between carpals and metacarpal. See, in our hand here is carpal, then metacarpal, and this phalanges, and between the carpals there is landing joint, or between the carpal there is landing joint, and between the carpus and metacarpal there is saddle joint. Okay, now this was all about joint. I hope you like the video. Thank you.